at the height of Anna Hazare's fast and this entire crisis, that brought the nation to a grinding halt in mid-August, you vociferously on various media platforms defended the movement and also seemed to suggest, and that concerned me a bit, a sort of, a blind advocacy for the movement, where you weren't really questioning it intellectually, it was almost an emotional support for it. Yet, in Revolution 2020, by the end of the book, and I'm not giving away anything here, would I be right in interpreting that you are suggesting that people can work within the system,
Yes.
that you don't really need to overthrow the system?
Well, the revolution comes from within.
Can the real Chetan Bhagat stand up? Because
I'll
what
stand
what you were saying, it was different, and yet in your book, what you say is different.
Well, when you are supporting a movement, you have to, kind of just go and support it. It is emotional, and you have to, lend that emotion to it. Otherwise, it's not genuine. You can't really be an expert and say, well, in this aspects, Mr. Anna, I agree with you, but in this aspects, don't.
But shouldn't you aim to nuance any debate? Shouldn't you?
No, absolutely, and I was trying to do debates. I have even said that I support the movement, but I don't support everything Anna does, and you would never catch me saying I am Anna or like things like that.
You gave them your wholehearted support on this issue, but in your book, you seem to suggest something else.
Yeah.
So what does Chetan Bhagat really support?
See, we have both in us. Every Indian has it. You have that passion for change. You have that passion, and you have that dream that one day people will rise, and the next day from the morning, India will be a different place. Right? And that is a dream a lot of people share, and that movement gave that hope. But there is a pragmatic Chetan which knows that you cannot change a country in 2 weeks. Or 3 weeks, or whatever it is. You just can't change it. You just can't change cultural mindsets. Anna's movement, it became like either you support it or you don't support it.
Exactly, it was so polarizing.
Yes, and I chose that stand because I found a lot of English elites, denouncing Anna. And I felt people's voice has never come into this country. The more Anna's movement spread, Indians got awakened a little bit. The benefit of the movement is not the Lokpal bill. The benefit of the movement is Indians saw what it means to be good. And somebody good became successful at bending the government. Somebody good, it became cool to be good. And I have to back that. Reason comes later. And reason tells me that even if they get that bill passed, it's going to be implemented by the government. If they don't want to implement it, what are you going to do? So reason tells me that it's got its limitations, and that's a separate issue. But we must back any exercise which is trying to cleanse my society. I must back it. I have, Anuradha, always believed in fundamentally being part of the system, even though it means, but not being part of the system doesn't mean you become subservient to it. You don't stick your neck out.
In what your story does to your protagonist, I think you offer some sort of redemption to everybody who's part of the system and who on a daily basis may be in small or very big ways, furthering a corrupt Indian society. You've sort of given them a way out,
exactly.
isn't it?
That's exactly. See, anybody can, maybe legally you can't get redemption, but morally, everyone can get redemption. I would say today, for example, some of the ministers in jail in Tihar, if Mr. Raja really comes out and gives out names and explains exactly what happened, he can maybe express remorse. Whether people believe that remorse or not is different, but if he genuinely helps the investigation, and if he says publicly that, this exactly what, because the biggest challenge in this scam is people are not figuring out what has happened. Now, if he comes and does that, there will be some redemption. Society will maybe not fully forgive him, but they will at least understand him. I think there is chance for redemption always in life, maybe not to 100%. And that redemption, when you have done a lot of wrong, comes from making sacrifice.